So next, we're going to let Keith Mikas talk to us. He set up a meeting with us yesterday at FLX Bikes. They're right here in San Diego on Marina Boulevard. And if any of you have seen their videos online, the pink bike up on the wall is their prototype baby maker. And the silver one on the far right is one of their newer bikes. And then the bike on the left is my Sondor's folding e-bike. And then that's just the screen on it there. But so Keith actually did kind of took his bike and made it into an electric bike. So he knows all kinds of information about this. So I'm going to turn things over to Keith.
All right, thank you, Elaine. As our name implies of our organization, it's Electric Vehicle Association. And so as we're always looking for speakers and topics, I pointed out to Elaine that in San Diego, we have an electric bike manufacturer. We have an electric bike dealer up in Solana Beach. Phoenix, there's electric as well. There's a plethora of electric bikes in Southern California, Southwest. And so we reached out, and the local San Diego guys were very interested to bring us in and gave us a great test drive. And hopefully in the future, they said they're going to come out and support our events when we start having events again. So that's a great opportunity. But I took a little bit of a different approach. Prior to the lovely lockdown last year in March, I started seeing all these ads for the Switch bike. It seemed like a very fun and interesting commercial. And like many of these electric bike companies, they're startup, Indiegogo, crowdsourcing things. And that's exactly what this was. But they have a different take on it, is that they say, keep your bike, being more sustainable to the universe, and just buy their kit, which consists of mainly a hub motor, a power pack, a headset, and a crank, and it all comes in a box, which is great. The process is very straightforward. You go to their website, when you order it, you just need to know what size wheel is on the front of your bike. And that's pretty much it. There's a wide variety of standard sizes, but they also do custom. Because like I said, it's basically they build a hub motor at the wheel that's your size. They do have some accessories that you can buy, but this is the main thing. Right there's my red fork hub motor, very well built. There's a removable battery. The battery does weigh about 4.5 pounds, about a 30-mile range. I didn't get the extended range. I figured that was plenty for what I do. And then the other two parts is the headset, where the battery clips into, which is on the right. And on the left side, there's a crank sensor that you just slap around your pedal cranks. And that basically, as you're pedaling, you can set the speed. So if you need more assistance or less assistance. There's no LED screens or anything on the battery. There's a little indicator light just telling you how full the battery is or how many bars of energy you need. It was a very, easy installation, just I've been cycling for 40 years in North County. So, taking apart bikes, fixing bikes has not been a big issue. So for me, it was about a good 30 minutes just to understand how their thinking went. But like I said, I ordered this back in March and I got it sometime in October. So like many Kickstarter things, sometimes it takes a while. COVID, the bicycle parts shortage, I guarantee you all these were factors in it. But I live near the Rancho Mirano Industrial Park, so I'm just going to give you kind of, how fast you can do this. And I basically rode my bike north to Escondido, mostly all downhill, over to my parents' house. It's about 5 miles. So I rode it downhill without the system engaged. All right, I don't know what happened there. Sorry. Uh, so like I said, I did a ride to show kind of performance. I went downhill roughly most of the way, just under my no battery not turned on or anything, 13 miles an hour, my average ride there, versus I turned the whole system on my way back, which is roughly all uphill from Lake Hodges to the industrial park. Uh, 24 minutes, 3 minutes faster. Max speed, not as fast, a little slower, but my average speed, 15 miles an hour almost. So, I mean, it definitely does what it says it does, which assists you in riding in North County. It's a uh, great thing. That was kind of my benchmark. And then the last one is how much does it cost? So, like many Kickstarter, Indiegogo type things, the pre-order price they say is at a 50% discount, so $4.99. I ordered a couple little things because I didn't want to worry about having to not have what I needed. So they got another 110 out of me. And then just before I received in the mail, they said I owe $35 roughly, in duty fees. So in the end, 650 compared to 2,200 bucks, 3,000, 7,000 for an e-bike. I thought it was a great value. I've put hundreds of miles on it. I definitely are a lot fun as e-bikes. Drawback is everything is over your handlebar. You got a hub motor on your front wheel. You got your battery up by your front of your bike. So your bike, I found, tends to be a little heavy. If you get aggressive, uh, that could be an issue. But overall, it was a great thing.
We have a question. Do
Yeah.
any of them offer regen? I know mine doesn't, and I don't know of any that do.
No, I mean, just to go back with who we met with yesterday, Elaine, that's a question that comes up to FlexBike a lot. And it basically has to just do with more technology. They're trying to keep it small, compact, and not, you know, overwhelm it. So no, they don't come with regen. I've yet to find one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Simon wants to know how that weight distribution affects the balance of the bike.
So I've got it on my mountain bike, which is probably a 30-year-old mountain bike. I do have racks on the back of my mountain bike because I've ridden across the state of California, so I've got spare tires, bike, food, extra money, all that, all my bicycling junk in the back. So I think I've got a good weight balance. But like I said, the first time I took it out, I definitely noticed that it was a lot of weight at the front. So if you're trying to do some jumps or tricks or a quick turn, you need to get used to it on probably flat ground first to realize what's going on. Because that, 4.5 more pounds right on your handlebars, and then the hub motor wheel, I don't know how much it is, but it's definitely weighs more than the standard.
Any other questions from anybody? Well, and same thing, I highly recommend if you haven't tried out an e-bike to definitely take one for a test drive. They're really fun. I know with mine, I typically don't even turn the electric part on unless I'm going up a really steep hill or something and just am lazy and want a little extra assist. So, and then I tested out the Baby Maker yesterday, and it's, oh my gosh, it's so much lighter than my Sondors, but, and it doesn't have the fat tires. So it just was much more maneuverable and much lighter and faster. But it has, a level 1 through level 5 assist. So we took it up a really long, steep hill, and, it just booked up that hill with no problem. You still have to put in some effort, but it really zips you right up the hills.
Yeah, Elaine, I think 18 miles or 18 and a half miles an hour was kind of the max going up the hill with both of those bikes we took out yesterday with Flex.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Excellent. Yeah, and then the bike that Keith rode, he rode that the one that looked like the silver one in the picture, the first picture that I showed. And that one had like a really nice suspension system and was really a cool bike to ride also.
Yeah.
And then here's a question: does the e-bike wear out the chain faster?
I would say no. I mean, it's still, you're still pedaling. The motor just adds assist. Switch likes to say it's an all-wheel drive bike, so it's the motor's on the front wheel, you're pedaling the rear wheel, so you're
And
definitely getting
then
more traction.
from Dave, recommended wattage for the motor?
Uh, I didn't, I could probably research that and find out, but like I said, it's kind of a kit. You just take off your wheel, slap on their system and a whole bunch of zip ties. So they pretty much leave your bike intact.
I can't remember on the Sondors if it's a 500 watt, maybe give or take, or maybe even 750. And then I think at the Flex bikes, they had one that was 1,000 watts.
Yeah, that was their $7,000 bike.
Yes. So,
Yeah, I know that there are minimums these days as far as what will actually give you a reasonable performance. And so, 350, 450, 500 might be the minimums these days to give you something that will be impressive and actually be worth your money. I've got an older one that's got about 200, 250 watts, and it's a little bit on the light side as far as performance goes.
excellent. And then another question: what's the difference with this with system and the Copenhagen wheel?
Not,
I know nothing.
I know nothing. Sorry.
All right. All right. And then any recommendations for beginners to e-bikes? My recommendation would be, go to an e-bike store because they have all the different types, and there are so many different types right now. So for instance, like mine has the fat tires. They have them. I see a lot of them around here that have, surf racks on them. I see them that have literally, a seat for a parent and then 2 or 3 seats for kids behind. So there are just all different kinds. And then like the Baby Maker is more like a little bit more like a street bike. And then their Flex bike was more like a mountain bike with suspension. So it really depends where you're going to ride it and, your preference and that type of thing. And again, the weight is a big deal for me. I got the Fold X because I do a lot of road trips. So I thought, I could just throw it in the car, but oh my God, it must weigh 50 pounds, so it's really not the most convenient thing to be tossing in the car. So, and I have no idea why it's called the Baby Maker. Keith, that's the stupidest name for it.
I think they were just going for sexy and shock value, and I think it's worked. I mean,
Seen the ad?
yeah, I was going to say if you don't have or never seen them, just go out to a YouTube and a flx.bike. They've got some great videos, and that's how I found out about the company with San Diego. You realize they're all shot here, but one of their videos, they're pulling a car with the bicycle down Marina Boulevard.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Keith.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. Yeah, if you have questions about e-bikes, just reach out and we'll get those to Keith or to Flex Bikes and see if we can't get your question answered.